Everybody wants attention. I mean, it's like look at people that get on TikTok and cry for no like
Just
stupid
crap.
shit.
It's so, and that's why it's so cute to me when people are like, PC gaming's so much cheaper than the $700 PlayStation. I'm like, fuck off. I'm like, fuck off. You're lying. You're a lying liar. PC gaming is not cheap. Like, stop it. You're a fucking liar. God, I can't stand those people. It's like consoles
I'm gonna
are
say
always
this.
gonna be cheaper, bro.
You're never gonna do Monster Hunter with me because you're an asshole. What's going on, everybody? We're back with another riveting episode of Unfiltered Gamers. I'm Della.
I'm Matt Curious.
And how are you feeling this Sunday morning, Matt?
CP.
Sleepy.
Yeah.
Sleepy. You just got your coffee in you now?
Well, when I do, I'll probably feel less sleepy. I just feel like I've been working a lot the last couple of weeks, so my body like burnt out yesterday, and I'm just like coming out of it.
I'm like, I feel energized, yet I'm starving because this is, wait, I'll tell you how many hours right now. I am on our 62 hours right now of my 72-hour fast.
Why?
Water fast.
Are you gonna be like really irritable on this episode? Because I would be.
No, this is 62. Listen, day one, fucking miserable. Friday, miserable. Went to slap everybody. And it's like I was hanging out with some of the people I play like competitive games with, and they were like getting high and ordering McDonald's, and I'm sitting there like, I want McDonald's. I'm like, oh my god.
No.
So and then like all the movies I've been watching and stuff like have like amazing food, and I've seen it. Like I just see like food, and I'm just like I must resist. So I'm at the final hump now, and I feel like I'm not hungry. I am hungry, but like I don't feel tired.
You're just used to it.
Yeah, like I feel very well rested because now like my body has went through ketosis and like is doing all that cellular repair and everything. Like my glucose levels are like gonna be better. I feel stronger. I lost about like 6.8 pounds. So
it's so you're doing it for like health restart?
Yes. So then when I eat, I have to eat like very gradually and slowly. So I'm gonna start like applesauce and stuff, and then slowly like try to get salads back in, because if you just like grab a burger and bite into it, your body's just go to shock and like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And it could probably make you. It could definitely make you sick.
I haven't
So I think I'm gonna do this.
a full one before. I've done juice cleanses for I think 3 days was my longest, and I don't think I quite made it, to be honest. I think I had a little bit of greens and egg whites, which you could kind of.
Yeah, some people the 72-hour water fast is good, but you could do a longer one. Some people do like a 60-hour water fast or like a 10-day, 20-day fast, liquid fast, but they have like sea moss and like bone broth and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I just been drinking a lot of water with just regular water with lime juice in it, and some water with some salt in it for my electrolytes. So I feel much more better. My skin feels glower. My muscles feel fiberized.
That's crazy. That's so hard, dude.
Yeah, so I think we'll do this every 2 months.
I can't do it for more than like a day without starting to really fucking complain.
Dude, you should try it. Just try it. Try one.
Like I said, I did juice cleanses, so I would get like all these different colored juices and try to do that for. I think I got one set for like 5 days once, and I was like ready to go, and I was like, I'm doing this, and it was hard. And I even had like an accountability person doing it with me, so like we were trying to help each other through it. It was just so hard.
And
that's
fucking
even with
sucks.
juices. Like I can't imagine nothing. Like I get so I need my sustenance.
Yeah, trust me, dude. I was like, and then my meal prep meals came today. Like, so I there's this place like nearby me that sells like I can get like 5 dinners for like under $100. And you could customize it too. So I got like 6 ounces of steak with sweet potatoes. That's one of my meals.
I love those
and then,
meal
like,
prep
like
places. Those are good.
Yeah, and there's like and then this other one's like this that cat got the zoomies also. I was like, oh, there he goes again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got like this chicken, like this Mexican style chicken. It's like chicken with rice and like corn and broccoli, and it's like packaged. Like they actually meal prepped it. Like I feel like somebody's at home, like it's like a big place, like they cook all that food and like just give it to you.
Yeah,
So
and
it's
that's the
like
beauty
it's
of it
pretty
too.
good.
Is like they're meal prepping for maybe a couple dozen people, so they can cook it all at once, but then give you 5 different options, which is cool. I
Yeah,
like
and you
that
could
system.
customize it too. It's really good. But I wanted to mention something because this thing has been on my desk since we started streaming, and we've always talked about one of your favorite franchises, Assassin's Creed. And I don't know if you remember when Assassin's Creed 2 came out, they had like a special edition that came with it was like a huge tin can. And it came with the game, it came with a special art book, and it came with a figure of Enzo. And this has been on my
Ezio.
desk for like the longest. It's still in good
Amazing!
condition.
Look at
This is from
you.
this is from the original Assassin's Creed 2 that came out
Yeah.
for PlayStation 3, if I'm not mistaken. PlayStation 3, right? Assassin's Creed 2 came out for PlayStation 3.
I think so. I'd have to look.
Yeah, so it's in good condition, not damaged. This has been with me from my mom's house to my first apartment roommates, my first apartment in Harlem, and here. Still in good condition, and I keep it on my desk.
That's
And
awesome,
like
dude.
there's like and it's so funny, like when we talk about like special edition stuff from games, like I have so many stuff, like I can't show you the shelf because the shelf is over there.
Mhm.
But like I have like the special edition mask from a game called Slaughterhouse. They like remade the game. It's an old game from Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and they remade it on the PlayStation 3. And the only way you can get the special edition mask, you have to buy the limited edition, right?
Mhm.
Then you have to mail a copy of your receipt to the company, and then they sent you the mask. It's like a little mask on like a little bust,
Oh.
so and stuff. So I have like a lot of special editions. I have like the Arkham City special edition Batman figure.
No way. That's so cool.
It's like he's like black and white, dude. I have like a lot of like limited edition shit, and it's like, are games still doing that nowadays? Like I see
They're
a lot of
doing the
games doing
collector's
it, but it's like
editions. You've got to pay like $100, but like
it's like
on top of the
no.
game.
The one I really
Yeah.
wanted, and I think I'm gonna buy if they still have it, if I could find it, is the Armored Core Elite Edition, Collector's Edition, because it gives you like a 12-foot model of the Armored Core.
That's super cool. I've never had a collector's edition ever. Never ever.
What?
I mean, I don't really need stuff most of the time unless it's stuff for like these days for stream. But before that, I didn't really need like stuff. You know what I mean? I'm not really a stuff person, if that makes sense. Like I used to gather some stuff.
Shit,
from
you got in your
travels, but-
background. That's stuff,
for
dude.
stream specifically. But like if I didn't
Yeah,
have
but-
live stream, I wouldn't have this stuff. You know what I mean? And
But
I'm not
dude,
saying
that's
that it
still
wouldn't
stuff.
be cool to have like that for stream potentially, but like I don't get stuff without a reason, if that makes sense. So I don't just like I haven't just bought collector's editions because I think that would be cool to have. Like I don't have cool to have in my brain. Does that make sense? It's like
Yes.
very strategic.
Y-
So not to say that
I
I
know-
wouldn't do
I-
it for stream if I had like a closer background where you could see it.
I think. I mean, it doesn't have to be a closer background. I mean, you like the space I'm seeing behind your wall. You can put like a little BS shelf and probably just put like 1 or 2 collector items and stuff.
Yeah,
On there.
it's really far back there. I mean, like I have my retro stuff kind of like on a shelf there, and then like kind of laid out, but you can still barely see it. Like it would have to be shelves, and so I'm kind of like I'm not putting shelves there right now. Like maybe at a different place, but
I mean, you could barely see the stuff I got, but like you could kind of make it out as
yeah,
like some people always think that the hat I have is a One Piece hat. No, it's not. I love One Piece. I'm a fan of it, but it's not a straw hat from One Piece.
Yeah,
it's
no,
a
it's
straw hat
just-
for the summer.
I've just never had use for like action figures or anything like that. I do think it would be cool to have like the hidden blade for that they were giving away on the last Ubisoft stream for talking about Assassin's Creed, but like.
Yeah.
I have one for 4, but again, that was like for a cosplay. So it's stuff that I get
Okay.
like very specifically for a reason. It's not to say that I wouldn't have the stuff. I just have never had a reason to spend the extra to get a collector's edition. Like I don't generally spend money without like a lot. Like every dollar I spend, I think a lot of it's just like my finance brain. I can't ever turn it off.
It's so crazy because like some of the collector's edition stuff that I did get, I lost or destroyed.
Yeah.
So like when Modern Warfare 2 first dropped, or was it 3? They came with the night vision goggles. When they remade the game, it might still be at my mom's house. Or I threw it out in one of the two. But when they remade the game, they gave you another When they remade Modern Warfare 2, they gave you the night vision goggles. So I have those night vision goggles in my basement.
That's super
But
cool.
when
I
they,
feel like too, if we had games that were coming out now that were as like phenomenally like it's going to be a classic, like it's going to be a banger, like
yeah,
it's going to be awesome, like I feel like now I would maybe get it because like as a kid it wasn't me buying it, right? Like I didn't really have control of the finances, so I probably wouldn't ask for all that, like I wouldn't need it. But like now, if like I knew a game was going to be really cool, like I would maybe get it, right? So
yeah,
it's just, and not that the games that I get aren't cool, like, in the franchises I like, but it's, it feels almost too little too late. Like, I'd rather have like a collection of the whole thing. So I don't know. It's just, I don't know if that makes any sense, but having that
it makes
first
sense.
Ezio game, Ezio is really cool, like that kind of
Yeah,
thing. And so if you'd played the first one or you'd gotten really hype about the second one, like, I could see you maybe getting that with the thought of like, oh, this is good. Like, I'm going to want to have this, like I feel like if they
exactly.
had games like that now, and I don't think there really are very many new IPs or like continuing from the like very beginning IPs even that you're like, oh, that's going to be really cool to have. Like, you just,
Agreed. I'm in the stand with like right now. I feel like some of the special editions for a lot of games coming out are like the quality has went down. Like when I first got the Modern Warfare 3, uh, the original Modern Warfare 3 night vision goggles, it came with a head to put on, and the head was a soap from the game. So it was his head, and you put the night vision goggles on there like a stand. And like I had the RC car from World at War, not World at War. Was it Black Ops that they did?
and those all sound
I
usable
just
too,
yet
though, like
it
goggles,
was
a
all
car,
usable.
like, yeah,
Yes, yes,
that's.
all the stuff are usable. And also, yesterday I just spent like $70 on Funko Pops because I had a sale. And
I have some
I
if
don't
you
know
want
what
to buy
to
them
put in
from
my
me.
office. I'm,
I got some
what's that?
legitimately. I bought a storage unit. I'm gonna sell stuff eventually. It's a side project that I had to put aside for a little while. But I bought like a storage unit of gaming stuff to sell, and I
Really?
have 3 Funko Pops that I'm gonna try to sell at some point.
What you got to show me the wait.
Yeah,
Let me get first crack at the
yeah,
Funko Pops
I'll
because
show
you
you.
might have some like
In case
some
there's
rare
something you
stuff.
want, I'll show you. I don't think it's rare. I
Yes,
did look them
please.
up, but it might be something you want. I don't know.
But yeah, I do have a lot of collectible stuff with like I do have a lot of collectibles. I get it because I buy because like I was a broke kid. So like even buying like special edition Modern Warfare, the console, the fucking limited edition stuff, like as a broke kid at 17, I was like spending like everything went into that. And when I joined the military and like even was working a job, it's like if this game was coming out, my whole paycheck went to that stuff. And like
Nice.
now as an adult, I have adult money and like I have what's the word I'm looking for? Not kind of exposed, not exposable.
Disposable,
What's that word?
disposable income.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exposed. Okay, so I don't really have exposable income, but I do have some exposable income with like extra cash I have kicking around from like the side projects and stuff I do. Like I'll treat myself to something nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll treat myself. I remember I called you and we had a conversation like, dude, I should. It's like X amount of dollars to fucking
Yeah.
upgrade my PC, but I need a new dishwasher and all this stuff. I have to
Yeah.
like
You just have to
checks
weigh
and
the
balances.
options, see what's right for you at the time. I do that all
Yeah.
day, every day. Like that's just my brain, so I love that stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you gotta get stuff for you. It's like, is it gonna bring you joy for a long time? Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, I could look at it, and eventually you never know because some of the stuff it might be worth some money
Mm-hmm.
and down the line, but sometimes it's not isn't, sometimes it's not. But
Gamble.
besides that, talking about getting to our first subject matter and topic, Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals. I spoke about Marvel Rivals is the bane of my existence, and just recently, the studio shut down their Seattle branch.
That's
And
crazy.
everybody, all gamers were upset, saying, "Oh my God, the industry is so fucked."
Yeah.
Because even if the game is such a huge success like Marvel Rivals, you still can use your job.
Yes.
But a lot of misinformation was put out about that
Okay, 'cause
because
that's what I heard. So that's where my part of this conversation ended. So you're telling me that's not it?
so did the studio get shut down? Yes. Was it a development team? No.
Okay.
People made it seem like it was a development side of the team that got shut down. It was the R&D team.
Oh, so they don't have anything else to research and develop because it's out there now. They're done. Yeah. So
Yeah.
but I mean, it would have been nice to like maybe move them to another project and not like
Correct, but the thing
because
is,
they did a
if
good job. Like,
you did a good job, but
damn.
the thing is now here's how it works. Here's the two things. Marvel Rivals is owned by a parent company. It's shit. It's net something. Marvel Rivals.
Like, if I was getting laid off every time that a project like was complete in some of the stuff that I did, I'd be pretty pissed too.
NetEase.
To be fair, like,
NetEase Games is the developer of the games. Go ahead.
it's just frustrating that people can get fired after a project. Like, a lot of my work in finance was project based, but the reason that they would very rarely lay off very many of us, and generally in finance, is because they want their monthly reports, and like, you have the key to that, you know what I mean? And so if they get rid of
Yeah.
you, those monthly reports either have to get done by people who already have monthly reports, so, and like, all of that all happens at once. So you do the projects in the rest of the month. The monthly report stuff happens for like 3 to 5 days, and like, you need that to go off without a hitch if you want to be able to make good decisions. So like, I can't, like, they almost need to find a way to like job securitize themselves and make them important every month, like, they might have to start thinking through it a little more.
They do, but like, speaking about NetEase Games, it's a Chinese owned company, and they outsource the R&D and all the other side of that to Seattle, American market, And my brain went like this: it's a Chinese market, right? It's a Chinese game made by a Chinese developer, and they outsource it to Americans. So they'll probably be like, all right, let's close down that studio, let's close down that branch. We could keep all the money, do all the stuff ourselves now, and we're profiting the more of it, because the game is profitable, because they release skins and stuff, and people buy the skins, people buy the season pass, it's a free to play game, but people are buying skins. It's making us money off skins. That's one of the main things free to play games do. It makes money off its skins. They sell you skins, and Marvel Rivals skins have been hitting. It's hit after hit. They just released the final two members of the Fantastic Four, the Thing and Human Torch, and they have skins, and people bought them.
Oh, and Fantastic Four is like coming out soon too, right? Like, so they can time it perfectly.
The movie
with everything.
too. Everything is timed up correct too. And before that, they released a skin set for Sue and Reed, which is like their wedding. So Reed is in his wedding suit and Sue's in a wedding dress. Mm-hmm. So they did all that. What people need to understand with with companies and corporations is this: if I'm the parent company, I have different branches, right? All my branches are gonna do stuff. Eventually, I'm gonna sit there and go, we're making a lot of money. I can either keep branches, or I'm gonna start closing down branches, or move things and put work onto other branches. Because if I see that team is just like there, it's just like, okay, what do we really have in this branch going on? What do you guys really do? Okay, you're not really doing much. I'm gonna have to let this team go, and whatever little stuff you were doing, I can allocate to one of the many branches I have. Can I move somebody from that particular branch to that new place? Yes, I can sit there and offer you, hey, we can relocate you.
Yeah,
do you want to do that?
The company that I worked at, like the branch that I worked for, was a bunch of people who had either started because it relocated, and then like basically they relocated and started this whole new branch. And they pulled from these places that they were closing to be like the core original like leaders, but then they also brought in people from the community, and they siphoned from every business, and there's a lot of corporations around here, and they siphoned some of the best talent from all around the community, because they got I think they got like stuff from the government too, because it was like a big company, so it was like this whole and they just pulled from everywhere, and people were pissed at every job. And so it was cool to see. And I didn't even try to apply like right when they were doing that, but they were offering some good deals when they did. I had just gotten my job, so I wasn't looking, but when I was looking years later, it was that whole, I knew people from all over, because it was like people had been siphoned off from every corporation. It was crazy, dude. And so that's how they do it. They like will relocate you. So there were people who, like, if people had been in the company more than like 5 years when I got there, it's because they'd worked at other places, and those people are going to lose their jobs either way, like otherwise.
So you got to understand like how gaming companies work too, especially if your parent company is one that's based overseas. They're going to close down a branch if they feel like it's not needed anymore. And they released a statement saying like, that it was a difficult decision to make to optimize the development and efficiency. That's what they're saying. Mm-hmm. That they closed down the Seattle branch, the development team, had been let go. But it's not a development team; it's an R&D team.
That makes
It's an
sense.
R&D team.
It really
So
sucks that they wouldn't like at least try to, find them a new project. I mean, how that's the thing too, is once you have a success, if you are just going to only focus on that success and you're not going to try to scale, that's just, you know what I mean? Like,
I get what you're saying, but
yeah.
like
Like The Last of
as
Us,
a
for instance. I don't understand. Actually, this could be like kind of a new. Last of Us didn't do their multiplayer. And they instead, like, they're owned by Sony, right? Like, Sony decided instead to invest in Concord. They could have invested in Last of Us multiplayer. Like,
they should
and they
honestly.
did to some extent. We see the bones of it in the No Return game on too.
Yeah,
Like, and there's a base of us who would all play it. Like, huge, like, speedrunning challenge run community that would play it. There's obviously me, who doesn't even do a lot of multiplayer but loves the game series enough to play it, plus the multiplayer players who'd be like all over it. So you've got like
dude,
all
The
these
Last of Us
different
1
bases.
multiplayer was fucking amazing. Have you ever
Yeah.
played the Last of Us
I
1
did, but
multiplayer?
it
That
was a
shit was
long time
so
ago. Yeah.
it was so fucking good. It was clean as shit. And like I was hoping for that in 2, and like
We all
they were
were.
making that a whole separate thing. And they stop it
For
to
Concord?
do Concord.
And like
And
the
Concord
12
was a
other
major
multiplayer they were working on, like God of War. Like, no, Last of Us. Like, it was right there. You had it. You wanted your live service. It was.
You had the ball and you fucking fumbled it.
And I've been arguing
And
with
that-
people on the internet because they're like, oh, well, they probably ran the numbers. I'm like, they ran the numbers on Concord too, and look how that worked. They're not reading the numbers right, bro. Like, and all of it's a little bit of a gamble, but like, what they could have just applied more resources. I'm like, all it takes, they're like, oh, it would just be too expensive. I'm like, too expensive isn't a thing. Like, that doesn't exist in corporate worlds. There's no too expensive. It's how much money can you make. It's how much money can you make to offset those costs, which with Last of Us, there's a lot of money to be made. That's one of the best selling series in the world. Plus, if you do it right, you know what I mean? And so they might not have had like the licensable content, like with Fortnite and Marvel's, like the stuff that's like really like, they might not have as expansive of a universe to pull from. So that might be the only downside. But like,
Yeah.
they were trying to build for Concord, and that wouldn't have had licensing stuff either. And so it's, they were doing the same thing everywhere else. They could have instead focused those resources. And they're like, oh, but Naughty Dog has high quality. I'm like, then focus those resources. You know what I mean? It's just like somebody was already doing really bad data analysis. They could have at least applied it to something that would have worked and not lasted.
It
like
was
fucking
somebody
12
who
days.
definitely came in and was like, we should just make a new IP because The Last of Us multiplayer is kind of sweaty and we don't want that kind of community in there. Because, there's this whole like stigma that when you have like multiplayer games, when there's like a competitive style and rank system, it draws the wrong type of people. And all I have to say is this. If you're playing ranked, you're in it to win it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't play ranks to have fun. I
might
want
have
to
become
climb.
like a
I want to
grinding
get.
multiplayer gamer if they had really come out
Yes.
with that game. Like, I might have shifted my whole content to that, and it's like.
But you would and if they had a rank system, you'd have thrived to get a higher rank. I'm gold. I want to get to fucking plat or diamond, whatever. And the thing is, a lot of people don't like that. They feel it's too grindy and it creates toxic players. It's just a winner's mentality, bro. That's all it is. Nobody likes to lose. People like to win. I play Marvel Rivals competitively and fun. When I play fun, there's times I get kind of frustrated at times because I'm like, what the fuck are you people doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can understand, and then it's like I remember why I don't play rank with certain people.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree with you. The Last of Us 2, standalone like online play would have been phenomenal. It would have made them their money. And how much money they lose in Concord? Like 4 mil? 1 mil?
Is it
A
400
million?
million or something? Yeah, crazy.
$400 million was lost.
They could have put some of that towards like it wouldn't have even.
Maybe it's 100 mil. I
I
don't think it was 400 mil. It was a lot.
There's rumors
though,
that it's 400, but we don't actually know the number.
but it just sucks. Like these companies make these bad decisions, and you got to understand. And just going back to what NetEase did with Marvel Rivals and that Seattle branch, it's like a lot of businesses will close down certain branches when they feel the team is no longer needed, especially in this industry right now, where if you're on a specific team, it's like you're the marketing team. Okay, the game came out. The game did well. Do I really have a need for you right now?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have another project for another 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
The marketing is done. Your time is done with us. We don't really have a place for you, so we're going to lay you off. Or I feel like some of these people aren't being honest, and they have contracts, but they're not revealing that it's a contract. That's what I feel, because you remember, like, you said it yourself. You've been hired for like work, and it's like a contract work. You're only for the project for like a year and a
It's not
half.
a layoff. You just had the contract for that work. Like it's that
Yeah,
simple. So you
but some
suspect
people
that
call it.
sometimes it's like contract work and they're not telling the truth?
Yeah, they're saying I laid off.
Interesting. What would be?
We,
How would that be to their benefit?
what do you mean? How would be
Like,
for their
are they
benefit?
doing it? Like what benefit would you have to do that yourself? Like, if you were like, oh, I'm gonna lie and say that I was laid off instead. Like, is it just attention? Like, what?
Attention. Everybody wants attention. I mean, it's like, look at people that get on TikTok and cry for no like
Just
stupid
cry.
shit. Just cry. Oh, oh, they said I couldn't. Like, why are you on the internet crying about something like people are gonna roast you over?
Yeah.
Because there's a side that's like, oh my god, I feel so bad.
Yeah.
And there's a side that's like, that feels like, okay, well, look how bad this company is. It's laying people off. Do some companies do layoffs? Yes, because at the end of the day, you got to cut the fat.
Yeah.
If when my old job was reacquired by his parent company, they looked at everybody at the fucking top that was making 300 grand a year or 250 a year and was like, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone, you're gone. The guy who hired me, they gave him an ultimatum. They was like, you're gonna become this role or you're gone. Pick.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not doing this role because you're not gonna pay me what the role actually makes. He's like, and they're like, okay, you're gone.
Yeah.
You're gone. When I got laid off due to COVID, it was like they literally had no projects for me to go to. They was like, we have nowhere for you to go, and we don't want to do this.
Which
and
is
it's like,
also
they
kind of
couldn't allocate me
crazy. You
somewhere
know what I
else.
mean? Like, if you expand enough and you're not able to use the majority of those resources somewhere else to scale, you're not running your business properly too. Like, if and that's why layoffs are such a bad signal in the investment world, because usually that means you are not utilizing your resources properly unless you planned for them to be contractual work. You know what I mean? And so if you planned to have that person there for the foreseeable future, you planned for your company to grow, and it's clearly not growing at the rate that you thought to have those employees on board. So it's a bad signal to investors because they're like, you're not growing. What are you doing?
Wait, hold on. Playing devil's advocate here.
Mm-hmm.
If your skill set is X.
Yep. But again, that's why it should have been contractual to begin with if it wasn't going to be utilized for like a very long period of time. That's still like a hiring problem, you know? Like,
Yeah.
if they weren't
So, but the
have
thing is,
that area growing in some way, you know?
yeah. Some people are just like storyboard writers. All I am is a storyboard writer, right? Okay, I don't have no more room for storyboard writers. What else do you do?
Yeah.
Nothing. See me, I work in the safety management side of stuff and construction. I did not know much of the superintendent side, so could they reallocate me and stuff? Probably, but there was a lot of superintendents they couldn't reallocate either. So they have to look at how much money I was making, and the other guy that was below me was making less. So what am I gonna do? Fire the guy who's making less?
But we should be doing more contractual work, I think, personally, you know? Like, companies are so averse to it, but that would solve that problem. And that's why tech has a lot more of it right now, because tech is becoming so project-based, they almost have to. And that's why they're also getting a lot more remote work. And so they need to be doing this in more industries because everybody wins to some extent because there's a lot more communication, open communication about the expectations.
Yes. So does it suck these people lost their jobs? Yes. But it's the nature of the beast. And it just goes to show that even if the game is successful and stuff, that doesn't mean your job is safe. You don't have people gotta understand. You have to make yourself valuable to a company. At the same time, you gotta understand, like, job security isn't always promised, because like a lot of jobs could just fire people for like there's like, we don't have a need for you, or we feel like you're making way too much money and we need to hire somebody we could put in at your same that does what you do at cheaper rates. Because obviously, I guarantee you, what they pay a Seattle R&D team compared to a Chinese R&D team, apples to fucking rocks. I'm telling you right now, because American market, right? American R&D people probably make like fucking 80 grand, 90 grand, right? Could pay a guy in my home country the livable wage that he needs for there.
Which
and it's
is,
cheaper.
yeah,
And
and it's been a whole problem for a while. And then on top of that, like we're in a state where there's a lot of mature industries and there's very few Wild West industries. And so that changes the dynamic a lot. And there's, that's why the layoffs occur because there isn't as much exponential growth as there used to be,
and if you guys think you're gonna sit there and try to like bully NetEase into stuff, mind you, it's a Chinese-owned company. They don't give a fuck about what we think.
Yeah, you're not
They
gonna be
really
able to
don't.
cancel culture them into like playing your card, or like just like they've been doing to all the American companies. It's like if we bully them enough, we cancel culture them enough, they'll do what we want. Like, fuck it, it's not how it
Yeah,
works.
you see how a lot of these Chinese devs are making their games. The girls, the women are big titty, big butts, and win almost nothing. And you guys can sit there and cry and say, "Oh, it's sexist and everything." And guess what they're gonna do? Fuck you. Don't play.
And I
Not for
don't,
you.
to
The
be
same
fair.
way you tell us.
It's not for me, and I don't play it. But like I said, I'm not really hit for censorship either. So
So in other news of like fucking things not going too well for some people, the RTX 50 series is having some issues right now, and I don't know if you stay up to date on like graphics cards, but we're up to the 50 series now. We just got done with the 40. I feel like we just got done with the 30 yesterday. And like as soon as I get a 40 series, there's a fucking 50 series. I'm getting tired of this shit. So the 50 series graphics cards are having issues where the connectors are starting to melt.
Jesus.
A lot of there's been connector issues with melting
Jesus.
inside the pieces PCs. Not optimized correctly. Frame rate drops.
And this is
and
like
it's just,
why you shouldn't get the first, you shouldn't be the
and
trial and error. You should wait.
but dude, do you know how much those things cost?
Like, why would you not keep the one that you got the previous? You know what I mean? Like, why would you want to upgrade so quickly for something that is pretty untested? Like, I would always wait.
Dude, right now the RTX 5090, guess how much?
I don't know,
Take a
like
guess.
1,200. Really? 1,800?
Oh, keep
2,500.
no 2,000.
Ah.
It's $2,000 for the 50 series. For the 80 series, you're still paying $1,500 depending on which one you get.
Jeez.
The 5070 series, close to $1,000 still.
It's so, and that's why it's so cute to me when people are like, PC gaming's so much cheaper than the $700 PlayStation. I'm like, fuck off. I'm like, fuck off. You're lying. You're a lying liar. I'm like, I have a PC that a friend built for me. I helped a little bit, but like mostly was learning and they built it. PC gaming is not cheap. Like, stop it. You're a fucking liar. God, I can't stand those people. It's like consoles are always going to be cheaper, bro. Like, I get it. You want your graphics. You should have that ability. But don't fucking lie about it. It's expensive.
Put like this. With PC gaming, it's cool to build your own rig and all that stuff. And is the parts expensive? Yes. The most expensive parts you could get for PC gaming is when it comes down to it is your graphics card. Mm-hmm. And the graphic card is what makes or breaks your fucking PC. Yeah. Anybody watching this podcast right now, you can attest. The graphics card is always the most expensive part.
My GPU is the... Hold on.
You're gonna say something weird like the RTX, right?
Yeah,
like
I have AMD, the Radeon RX 6700 XT. That's what I've got.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. See, in my brain, because I'm so simple, if it doesn't say 5040,
I didn't get it for gaming. I got it like for streaming, and then got a little bit above what I needed for that, so that I could game if I wanted to a little bit, and I do a little bit, but it's not so that I can play like Fortnite, like or like I don't know what's like actually. That's pretty heavy on resources, but like Call of Duty, like it wasn't to play those type of games like on my PC, you know?
Yeah, like my PC alone, like when I upgraded my graphics card, it cost me like $600. And the only reason I upgraded it to the graphics card alone, to that graphics card, because they give you a free copy of Wukong. So I was like, I get a free game and stuff. Then when Monster Hunter World's coming out, Monster Hunter World's coming out this Friday, nobody fucking bother me. I'm going to shut everybody out. Don't call me. Don't text me. The house could be burning. I'm in Monster Hunter World. I'm hunting monsters. I had to upgrade my PC for Monster Hunter because it's a beefy game.
Yeah.
It's a beefy game. I'm running at uh, DDR4. I had to upgrade the 5. I got a new CPU. I got an i9 now. I got
And
liquid
this is
cooling.
why I just like I don't need to do all that. If I want to play it, I can just get it on PlayStation. Is it on PlayStation?
Yeah, I gotta do
Or
that
I can
because I
get it
got the
on Xbox.
PlayStation.
PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, PC. Now I have options. Done. Right? Like what? Like you don't
I
have
have
to upgrade it.
options
You can
too.
just play it on console. You know what I mean?
Yes, I have a
I see
PlayStation
your
5.
PlayStation 5 controller back there. You
I
can
have
just
a
play it on
PlayStation
that. Why would
5
you upgrade your PC? You like need the
because
graphics.
because you know what it is. Here's what it is. Because sometimes I don't know. I don't know. I can't defend
You
myself
just
right
want
now.
it. You just want the graph. That's okay. Listen, everybody has their thing. As long as you're open and honest about like what you want, because people will be like, "Oh, it's just better." Okay, but like, what's better? And they're like, "Well, the graphics." I'm like,
The
"Okay, that's fine.
graphics, the
That's
frame
fair."
rates, because
Yeah.
I hate that like we pay all this money for consoles and the games we're getting for the consoles throttle themselves at like
I
30
don't even
frames per second.
notice, to be honest. I'm not the kind of
You're
person who
right.
cares and notices, but I understand that other people are, and that's fair. And they should have the ability to do their upgrades for that, right? But like, that's
Correct.
not what I'm looking at the most,
I just have to say this. If you upgrade your graphics card to the 50 series, be warned that you may expect. I think it's just the RTX. I don't know if the MSI is doing that, but the RTX ones are currently doing that. It's like it's fucking up. But going back to what I'm saying, if you buy those high graphics cards, please make sure that your monitor could is putting out what you're getting.
A lot of people don't even know
Because
that, yeah.
because you're gonna spend $3,000 or whatever on this fucking monster PC, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna stick in your bullshit fucking monitor that doesn't have 4K resolution and is not even 1 millisecond refresh rate and whatever hertz and all that stuff. You're gonna plug it in and be like, I can't see anything.
Yep, because it wouldn't work for mine. I have a 27-inch, like slightly curved, like it's a decent, thing, but it's not.
Yeah.
And I don't want a giant monitor because as a competitive gamer, if you're like having to scan a giant screen, because I used to play on my
Exactly.
TV, like you're gonna play worse, just 100%, because your eyes have to move so far versus like
Yeah.
right in front of you.
That's why. Yeah, I didn't realize that until like everybody I used to like when I started really getting into like shooters. Everybody I played with, they were like, "Why are you playing on a fucking big TV?
Mhm.
Get a monitor."
Yep.
I'm like, "What?" It's like you should be playing on a monitor because a TV you even though you're sitting back and you can see more. Once you get to a monitor, like it's right there, and you're just like beep
Yes.
beep beep beep. Boop.
You don't have
Like-
to move as much, and I didn't know that either until I started streaming and I was using my TV and then started researching because I started out in Call of Duty, so I was like learning the ways of Call of Duty.
Even with the PlayStation 5, when you put on those like big 50-inch TVs and stuff for like visuals and stuff, sometimes the TV has to make up fucking pixels.
Mhm.
That's one of the main things. People said like a lot of people in tech are like Linus themselves. They even said like when you get bigger TVs and you want to get all these and put the systems on there, a lot of pixels are being made up and like it's not being rendered properly because it's stretched so much.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it looks nice, but if you get like a nice monitor that's like fucking I don't fucking know,
Yeah,
like
even have the
27
nice
inch
monitor with the nice PC, and then you're living. And I think then I would maybe notice a difference. Like if I had the full scope of like the highest things,
Yes.
I think I would notice a difference, and I think it would be really hard to go back. So I can understand that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think right now 4K monitors are getting actually cheaper now because now everybody's on I think the 8K or whatever the new K is coming out.
I hope the 6
like-
is going to compete like the PlayStation 6. I really hope it's going to compete with some of those really high resolution stuff, and that I'll have to consider upgrading my monitor. Like that's how good I want the 6 to be, but we'll see.
Well, we don't even know. You talk about the 6. The 6, I don't see the 6 coming out for like until 2027.
It would be Yeah, it would be probably 8 at the earliest, but we'll see.
But yeah, the RTX stuff, RTX graphics card is fucking kind of shit in the bed, and it kind of sucks. Like, cause you imagine paying all that money and the fucking thing just starts smoking, and if it smokes and destroys that cable inside, it could possibly damage your whole PC.
Yeah.
Cause it could power surge too. And some of those 50 series, some of those like higher series, have a I don't want to be wrong, but sometimes these graphics cards have to have their own power. Like there's a
Wow.
power plug in the back of it.
Wow.
Like
That's
Yeah.
cool. Dang, they're like,
That's not
yeah,
cool.
I mean, it's kind of cool. It means like it's that hardcore. It's gotta have its own power source. Like that's pretty. That's kind of cool.
Some of those things gotta like we gotta take from your wall, motherfucker.
Fucking
With
beefy.
beefy. Those things are
So
huge
beefy.
too. There's
Yeah,
like
and mine's even pretty big. Like I can't even imagine how big those are getting to where you probably need your PC almost like fucking horizontal to hold the damn thing up.
dude, like if you see a picture of a 50
Crazy,
series,
bro.
like the 90 series
Yeah.
cards, it's like a fucking
Well, they do have like those little stools for them or something, right? Like, isn't there
Dude,
like
it's
stands
like
to
this
help
big.
like hold them up or something?
they're like
It's
this
very-
big.
Yeah, they've got to have something holding them up at that point. But
They're
it's got to be very
huge.
specific because you've got to let the fans still go too. So I'd imagine they're coming
Yeah.
up with all sorts of
So
stuff.
it's a
to
it's
hold
it's
those
a
babies.
it's a monster of a fucking thing, dude. That
Man,
Jesus
you
Christ,
don't want
man.
just the slot holding that up. That's crazy.
This dude, your fucking PC like stop. What are you doing? I can't lift this shit. I mean, PC gaming is like everybody's starting to go to PC game for streaming and everything now.
Yeah.
So it's like
I
when you
just
go
want
into
my
like these
UI,
stores.
to be honest, like I just like console UI. I like being able to boot up the thing, you know, have the comfy like little library right there, not have to boot up the whole. You know what I mean? Like I just prefer
I get what
the
you're saying.
experience of console gaming, and I always will. So I really hope that the graphics do start to compete on that level because that would be cool to see like what these people are seeing because I don't really do that. But I hate PC gaming, especially as a streamer. Like hate it because like I can't do a second recording easily like with my capture card like I do. And that makes making videos very difficult.
What do you mean?
Because so like when I'm streaming, I have my recording of my stream, and then if I'm playing a game that I know I want gameplay of, I record that separately. So I have just
You
the
could-
gameplay.
Can't you just record it with the OBS?
OBS is recording my stream. The game doesn't have me talking on it. It's just the gameplay.
Oh,
So it's a
Oh, okay,
second
so you
recording of
just
just
want-
the gameplay. So like for instance, I did a
Okay.
video the other day where it was like I had both. I would take clips of stream and then I would also just have like my gameplay, and I did it where I was like popping through the gameplay as I talked. And so my
Okay.
other voice wasn't on top of it, so it would have been confusing. It like so I like having that second thing, and that's harder to do. And I'm sure you could have like another instance of OBS or something else, like some sort of recording software to be able to do that with a PC game.
yeah.
But it's just built in with a console because you have it in the capture card, and that's where I think people who have a gaming PC have that advantage because if they have a 2 PC system, they can do that with a capture card. And so I've even considered getting like the Steam Deck, or I've heard rumors of a Steam console, which I would definitely invest in, like something where it's separate, especially if like a game throttles off or something. Your whole like your stream might like if a game freezes, your whole PC might freeze. So I think having that
I hear
separate
ya.
system is huge.
I have like my old PC parts, and I have enough parts to build another PC. I'm just missing a power supply
Yeah.
and a case. That's all I need, and I can build a second PC.
So I technically have a second
do that.
PC, and this is a great segue. It's a NAS, network attached
What?
storage, and I saw a tweet
Oh,
about Kai Cenat the other day, yesterday I think, and for some reason he has 500 hours of stream stored on Twitch, and like I understand if you're a small streamer and you just haven't invested. This is a man who's like the most popular streamer in the world and has money coming out of his ears. And you're telling me he has not hired someone to come up with a proper storage solution and store his stuff for the foreseeable future because he is the biggest streamer in the world. Like I did it when like about 4 months into streaming where I started storing all of my streams. I have streams from like 4 months into streaming for the last 4 or 5 years. So, and I
Really?
started that on just an external, right? Just an external. And I would download all of my Twitch VODs at the time. I started very basic. And then eventually got it to where I was automatically recording every stream. And then eventually needed more storage, and the 1 terabytes weren't doing it, 5 terabytes weren't doing it. So we turned my first streaming PC into network attached storage. Then I still needed more after that. And so I have all of this capability now to run files through my Wi-Fi so that I can go from PC to my editing laptop and I can move all these files really easily. And I have just like a whole system down. And I normally stream record. Like right now we're going straight to an external hard drive just in case something flickered on the NAS, so that the external hard drive is a little bit more consistent, I found, and just, you know, because it's like, and then I move it to like, that's basically more of my cold storage. And then I can also get a cloud storage, but I don't have good enough internet to do that very easily, but I can connect that easily to cloud storage. So there's a lot of options there. And I'm tiny, right? Like compared to Kai Cenat. He could pay someone to do that and have the best possible system, have it all automated and never have to touch it, and he would just have all of his stuff there. And he could have, you know, just infinite cloud storage. Editors could go in there. He would never have to like see it himself. He has so much money. I don't understand how he's not invested in that. It would cost him nothing. Like, how does he have all of his stuff stored just on Twitch? Especially knowing that Twitch is not forever. Like, you guys not built for that.
Wait, can you confirm that he just has other stuff on Twitch? You know, are you just saying this?
No. He was complaining that he was like, oh shit, I have 500 hours of stream stuff that's on Twitch that I, don't have. Like, he's like, I'm gonna lose all that. I'm like, how do you not have it saved somewhere? Like, what are you doing,
because some people just don't think about that shit. You don't think about that stuff.
He has enough money to pay people to think for him at this point. All that man has to do is be the entertainment.
Sometimes you don't want to pay people to do shit like that. I'm the entertainment. I don't want to pay somebody to do that shit because
he should be paying someone to handle the business side.
I'm pretty sure Twitch is gonna do something for him. I'm pretty sure Twitch, because at the level he's at, Twitch is probably be like, don't worry, Kai, we got you. We'll we'll pull your stuff for you.
Oh, for sure. But just the fact that he doesn't have that already is crazy to me. There's nobody around him that's like, bro, you're not saving your streams, bro. Like, fucking, this is the #1 streamer, and you're telling me nobody's been like, bro, you should be saving your shit, bro.
Yeah, well, it depends. Some people are more focused on other things. But speaking about him with his he's doing a Batman stream right now, and his setup is crazy. His setup for his Batman stream, he's doing all the Arkham series.
I tried, man.
Compared to yours, he has like he has the suit, he has the fucking whole. It was it's like the Batcave. Yeah, but he has the old suits from the movies.
Yeah.
His cave looks like the Christian Bale Batman Dark Knight cave.
Dude,
that's what he has. That's the setup he has. And then he has his buddies dressed as fucking Robin and shit. He has a butler who's Alfred and shit. Bro.
Crazy, dude.
Remember what we said last time on stream? It was like, Pokemon was saying like, oh, there's not top female streamers like Kai and everything. What top female streamers doing that shit?
I would if I had the monetary resources. Like, I'm doing the base level of it. I'm doing crazy events. Like, I'm thinking about doing a big one in April. Like, I do crazy events, right? But like, I don't have the resources to be able to do that yet. You know what I mean? But I would.
Dude.
I would. And so why is Pokemon not doing it? Like, if you really want to compete, you've actually got to put in the work. Like, I would. Dude, I do. But I just don't have that level of money yet.
For Monster Hunter, I would love to just maybe I should do it, but I gotta set up the fucking grill outside. The smoke and the weather's not perfect. Because in Monster Hunter, before you go to hunt, you could prep. You prep, so you get your weapons and whatever oil like stuff. Make sure you got the right stuff, and then you eat. You eat this feast. And I don't know if you ever seen like in Monster Hunter, like you mix all these ingredients and like you get these palicos, like they're cat people, and they make like this huge banquet of food. And it's like big ass pieces of steaks and stuff. I would like to just make a huge tomahawk steak and just eat it on stream, like Monster Hunter, like I'm prepping and stuff.
That'd be cool.
But again, it's time and money and resources, right? He has that, and like Kai's streams are like fucking. He goes 100. Yeah. Is go big. He just goes big. That's what it is. Is go big or go home.
Yeah,
and that's what he's doing. And
like,
he's
you can get like a little bit like what's the word? Like scrappy with it, like I do. Like this right here is a merch that was made for me, and I had a flag of it when I did my last Last of Us event. And so I always try to do as much as I can. I have a few like types of Last of Us. I'm actually about to change that to Mad Assassin's Creed, and it's gonna be a flag, and then I'll have all my and I have like different cosplays, so I do my best with like very few resources. Anybody can do it to some extent, even if it's a fucking flag. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy that anybody would complain like, oh, I'm not getting attention, but you're not trying. You're not trying.
Yeah, it's streaming is not easy. But staying on Kai, he had his TikTok hacked mid-stream. He was like on stream, and like at 4 hours in, he had to stop because like his TikTok got hacked.
Speaking of 400, wait, did you say 4 hours in?
Like 4 hours into his stream for the Batman stuff, like he found out that his TikTok was hacked.
I wonder if he even has
like,
2FA
I guess
as a guy who doesn't have storage, bro. I'm worried about him. He should really have like a project manager. He needs somebody
I'm pretty sure he does.
His project manager sucks. If he doesn't, if he's not telling him like use 2FA.
Are you offering your services to Kai Cenat?
Yeah, I'm not even that good at that, but I'll do it. I'll at least help him like put some things in place and then find him a real project manager because his isn't doing the job. I would like get him good in the meantime, and then like go out and like.
But
do
if your TikTok gets
interviewing.
hacked, like how can you like as a
No, you should have your TikTok isn't going to get hacked if you have all the safety stuff in place.
But no, I think everybody. I don't know. I think the bigger you are, the more hackers
risk,
go
but
for you.
That's why you've got to have more protection, and he has the money to have that protection. That's like how the world's always worked.
I mean, I guess, but his TikTok was hacked, and he reached out to TikTok. I mean, he's a big creator on that, so I'm pretty sure they freaking like scrambled to get his account back.
Yeah.
I'm not. I believe he did get his account back, but like, just seeing like how big of a streamer he is, and like he's being like targeted for attacks. On top of that, his Lamborghini was broken into.
Jesus Christ, poor guy.
Like his car was broken into.
Yeah, that's why when you get big enough, you have to like literally have protection on all levels. It's crazy, dude.
One thing that kind of annoys me about some of these big streamers, they all get Lamborghinis or Ferraris. Why the fuck are you buying Ferraris and Lamborghinis?
Because that's like
that makes you that put like this. In the world we live in today, I try to do everything to not make myself look like a target.
Well, that's what the real rich do. We're talking new money acts like that. Old money doesn't act like that. That's you know what I mean?
You know when you talk like, well, you talk about that. You ever watch Always Sunny? Like we're old poor. You're new poor.
You're new poor. Yeah, that really is the difference. It's like how
like
you have
right
that
now,
as your norm.
me and Mad, we're old poor.
Old poor. I'm not actually old
The
poor.
new
I
kids,
was
the
old
new
middle
people
class.
complaining. The new people complaining about they don't have money. You're new poor. So
Yeah.
remember that.
I was old middle, like pretty honestly, probably upper middle class. I was doing good as a kid. Like my parents were good. Now me, I also worked in finance, so I was pretty, good middle class.
But you're still
I'm
making
new
ends
poor.
meet.
I'm new poor, but I worked in finance, so I
but wait,
used those
no.
skills.
You're old poor because you understand how to sit. You knew about you already. You kind of know the struggles, and you're making
finance.
it work.
It was like looking at things objectively and understanding that you can utilize the same skills when you're rich or poor to make your resources work for you. That's it. Like most people aren't going to be able to do what I'm doing only because they don't look at their costs. That's it. That's the biggest thing.
They're not looking at that number.
They're looking at how
money.
much money they can bring in rather than how much money they can save to make sure that even when things aren't coming in, they're good. That's it. It's like a simple process and nobody does.
I've seen a lot of these streamers when they get like that, they blow up and everything. They're buying Lamborghinis and stuff. I'm just like, is that the only car you could think of? Like, it was like a high-end car, Lambo. Like, and that driving a Lambo makes you like a target, bro. Because if like I'm from the hood, and hood me, if I see a motherfucker rolling around a Lambo, I'm like, that motherfucker got money, and he got stuff in that car. I might want that stuff. The block knows, and it doesn't matter if you came from the hood. People need to understand his hood mentality. We do not care that you came from our hood. The older people that grew up with you will care, but the younger generation, like, I don't care. He came from here. I want what he got because I don't got it.
Yeah.
You know how many rappers stay away from their hoods because they're like, I don't want to go there because I'm gonna get shot or somebody's gonna rob me.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's happened to rappers. They go to their old hood to show love, and guess what? Young kid that don't know him or somebody that didn't like him when he was growing up is like, fuck him. I want what he got. Streamers, being a streamer, especially when you're the level of like Kai, Pokimane, Amaranth, Aiden Ross, Nick Merckx, and all those guys, they're targets. Yeah. They're targets for doxing. They're targets for people trying to get into their homes.
Actually,
they're targets
Pokimane
for break-ins.
did a tweet recently where she said she spends like a ton of money every month on her online safety. And I'm like, yeah, when you get to that level, you have to be paying like for security on all levels, physical, digital, like it doesn't matter. You've got to be paying for so much security. Like that needs to be a portion of your budget. That's just part of it.
Yeah, like that dude who, I forgot what streamer it was, but the dude went all the way to her house and set her car on fire.
Jesus Christ.
And Amaranth had a guy fly from like Germany overseas, go to her house.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And he recorded the whole thing. So, if I always say, like, if I ever won the lottery, no one would know, but there will be signs. There will be signs.
The fucking meme, yeah.
There will be signs. Like, my house will be paid off for. all my debt, whatever debt I have, I'm just gonna pay off. Family, I'm gonna throw a couple bones to them. But I'm not
I
just
have a
gonna give them
plan
the
for
cash. I'm
every
gonna
amount
open
of
the
money I
account.
could reach. I do. I have
Yeah,
plans.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna fucking. You're not gonna see me with a Lambo. You're not gonna see me with a fucking mansion. You're gonna see me the same. You won't know.
It would be so hard for me to buy a flashy car. Like, I would have to be so rich because if I had just a couple mil, and I say just because I would invest in like businesses to bring me wealth for life and be like good to go. And then, I could disperse that however I want. But it would be very hard for me to spend on something that's not going to bring me something at this point because I have poor mindset. It would take me so long to break out of that because that's also finance mindset. Like finance mindset
Yeah.
is poor mindset. It's like how to use your resources in the best possible way at all times. And it's like, so for me, waste just doesn't exist anymore,
Like, I'm pretty sure people sit there and say like, oh, you're just saying that because that's what everybody says, and then when they get the money, they go flashy stuff.
No,
Again,
I had money and I still didn't get flashy stuff. You know what I did? I traveled.
What'd you do?
I bought experiences. You know what I mean? So, like we were saying earlier, it kind of goes back to the very beginning. I said I don't really get stuff as much. I'm not saying that I
Exactly,
haven't
okay.
before. Like there was a time that I did that, but like that was when I was young and dumb, and you kind of like learn what's important in life.
Like my flashy stuff are the figurines and stuff I have in my house, and maybe like a nice pair of shoes, some Yeezys or something, or some like really nice, like high-end shoes that I wear out once in a while, right? But like, I've always said like I made a shit ton of money when GameStop blew up because I bought GameStop stocks when it was like $10 a share. I bought it when there was nothing in 2019 during the pandemic. I bought it when it was before the pandemic happened. I was buying GameStop shares because
it was cool.
Yeah, because I bought it because the guy from Nintendo said he was thinking about coming in and helping, and GameStop was talking about making themselves like an arcade place.
And that's
so
why
I was
it's
like,
funny
oh,
when people only talk about the quantitative aspects of investment.
Yeah.
Like it's a company, it's a living and breathing organism run by people.
Exactly.
You've got to look at both sides always.
So when I bought it, and my buddy was like, you need to buy 100 shares. I was like, no. He was like, he literally took my phone and bought 100. Then every time I got paid, he was like, every time you get a paycheck, buy another 100 shares. Just keep buying 100 shares. You need to get 1,000 shares. I'm like, are you serious, bro? That's crazy. He's like, if you believe in it, buy it.
Yeah.
1,000 shares. Fast forward, it helped me pay for my house. Did my house
Hell
fully
yeah.
paid off? No, but like, it helped put down to 20%.
There you
It helped
go.
put down the money and moving it. So it helped put down and stuff. Like it, at the end of the day, it's like
People have to understand sacrifice.
I've had a lot of money.
Yeah.
I've had money. I've had fucking more money than I could fucking know what to do with.
Yeah.
And guess what I did? Pay shit off. And I didn't anything
That's a
nice.
very specific mindset that not very many people have, is like the ability to sacrifice in the short term for the long term. And I'm not talking about like investing in your retirement because you have enough money. I'm talking about
Yeah.
like if you are having to make use of smaller resources to gain a bigger resource, you've got to sacrifice to invest. That's it. And a lot of people won't do that. They'll say, oh, well, I need to make fucking 15 grand a month if I'm going to quit to be full time. No, bro, you've got to actually figure out what you need first. Most people are outspending what they need by like hundreds of percentages. Like it's insane. Like people do not realize how much money is going out the door on bullshit because they don't sit down and look at it.
Exactly. And there's a term they use, like my buddy always uses. He's always said, "Scared money don't make money." So you got to be willing to sacrifice. And right now, like he's out of work right now because of some injury he got during work. And he's been telling me he's been investing in the market doing options and shares. And he pretty much made like half his salary in a month.
That's crazy.
Just stocking. But that's a whole different thing.
That's
But
a whole, and of course that's not to say that there aren't people who are just like really struggling and can't sacrifice anymore because the economy right now has it where the standard of living, like just for the basics, is crazy. Like money, gas, food is like money, home, gas, food is crazy. So those people cannot sacrifice for the most part because they've got, and so I actually saw this cool TikTok where it's like, the luxury items have become cheaper as the needs have become more expensive. So when people are buying like their $5 coffees and avocado toast, it's like a little treat that isn't going to put a dent in that. And I was like, that makes I can see that because I'm always of the mindset like don't buy the $5 coffee unless you have so much money you were swimming. You know what I mean? Like but I can see like occasionally getting yourself a treat, but like if you are doing it on a regular basis, stop. Like if you're struggling.
like if you go order food every day,
Yeah.
like Grubhub every day,
Yeah.
you got money. You got money.
Yeah.
You got some money because like
Or you're
Grubhub is fucking
investing
expensive.
too, like you like so. For instance, Amaranth, for instance, and she does have money, but like it's a example of like how for her it would cost her more money to cook, though she does cook for her pets. I saw that as a short the other day too. I was like, oh okay, she cooks for her pets, but not for herself.
I don't know why. I mean, she could probably hire a chef,
She could,
but she vets people. She vets people. Like the people who like edit her stuff is like these two girls that like work with her. I've seen like a video on that. It's like two girls that work with her. Like she trusts them.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna be like working for like a big streamer or something, they're gonna vet the shit out of you and everything. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not gonna be like how this guy fucking Floozy does shit. Like he fires his. It's not gonna be like that.
Yeah.
But you know, just staying on, like, you know, what we're talking about, you know, big streamers, like, you know, Kai's doing his thing and everything, and like, you know, people don't like seeing success. Some people don't
They
like
also
seeing you
don't
succeed,
always
or they like to
understand-
fuck with you.
They also don't understand success to a high degree. I saw, like, just by one metric, I saw people in that same tweet I saw about the storage stuff. They were like, 500 hours, that's so many, that's so crazy. Bro, if you think that's a lot, then you have no idea what streaming is. None.
Exactly.
Absolutely none. I do over 1,000 a year, and I'm a tiny streamer, right?
Yeah, you're
Like,
not putting in the work.
I'm not.
If you don't get.
Yeah, but like,
I'm not saying you're
yeah,
not
I was
putting in,
like,
but
"Wait,
like,
what?" I'm like, I'm working all the time. I'm tired, dude. But no, like, fucking, I couldn't believe that people thought 500 hours was a lot. If he's doing 40 hours a week, like a 9 to 5, he would be doing that in 12 weeks. I'm like, think about the hours you're putting in at your job. You think 500 is a lot? This man will do like what, 15 days of like stream in a row, and you're telling me you think 500 hours is a lot? Bro,
yeah,
you have
he
no
just streams
conceptualization
constantly.
of what it takes in
He
streaming.
streams. He does marathons. He does marathons for fun. This is like, and that goes back to, and what kills me, I remember the whole thing like, oh, you shouldn't be streaming every day, grinding. That grind culture is bad, and you know you shouldn't be doing it. You should have a steady, you know, life
They're
because
full
of
of
the
shit.
burnout and stuff.
The most
Those people-
successful
exactly.
month that I had was recently in December. Out of all of my streaming career, was December, because I did a 3-day event at the beginning of the month, and it was a Last of Us nonstop crazy event. I made this custom run of Last of Us, and people could throw money at me to stop me from finishing the game. And they did. And then
I saw.
a couple weeks later, and I took a little tiny break from streaming for a second. We're talking like a week and a half. And I was doing stuff that whole time. And then when I come back, I like just 12 days of streaming, not nonstop, but every day I was streaming a lot and did a different kind of like activity or something, and had like themes planned and all sorts of stuff. And all around the holidays for the whole holiday season, 12 days. So I did 3 days, little break, 12 days. And that was my biggest month ever because I was streaming a lot. You're like fucking math, dude. Like you can't just stream a lot and do nothing. You can't just do the Pokemon sitting there fucking watching Gordon Ramsay and think you're gonna, I mean, she does, but like as a small streamer, you're not gonna fucking, you've got to actually put in the work.
You gotta grind. Put it like this. You gotta grind. You know who usually tells people not to grind? The motherfuckers at the top.
Well, the motherfuckers who made it with one shot and like never had to try in their life. It's the people who fucking like
They got partnered because they knew somebody who was a
they
partner.
got partnered because they were in it early, or and not to say it's luck. It's just the set of circumstances that they had. They didn't have to try again. They had it one shot, so they did it there. They did it because maybe they were really skilled at the game, so they don't actually understand the game to get there. For people who don't have some advantage where they pulled a lever and they were good to go. It's not saying luck. They worked for it, but it doesn't mean that they worked and saw failure over and over again and had to iterate and know a bunch of stuff. Anybody who failed to get there has the iterations of all of the different things that could happen, more so than these people who one-shotted it. So, you know, they don't know what they're talking about. They're full of shit.
But staying on Twitch, you know, they just updated their whole ban system and everything. With like they changed it with expiring violations and stricter punishment for repeat offenders, which I believe is bullshit. I believe what the expiring violations, okay, I can see, but the stricter punishment for repeat offenders, I don't believe it, because there's so many large streamers that do the same shit over and over and over and over again. They don't get perma banned. Like before, it used to be like three bans and you get perma banned for something. Like these guys get perma banned. These guys got like 60-day bans and bans like constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly. They do this shit constantly. I was like, you know, what does it even mean? And then you had Dr. Disrespect come back and say like he should have never been banned. He should have never been banned. So they need to lift his ban. Does it count for him too? Which
Nah,
I'm gonna side like
I'm very anti Dr. Disrespect that shit. Like that's where my line is where like, nah, you're out. Like I don't believe in cancel culture, but you do that shit, you mess around with that shit, yeah, you shouldn't be anywhere near publicity in any way. You should be out of the industry, period. That's like where my line is for sure. Like
out, here's playing devil's advocate as an ex Dr. Disrespect fan, because I said like if what it comes out is true that he is a freaking pedo,
yeah,
I don't fuck with that. So playing devil's advocate, is he right? Should he not have been banned? Like, why was he banned because he was messaging this person? Can they I mean, was it confirmed that was the reason? But like, who controlled his ban and stuff? And how many times have we seen on stream where the streamers like have their like these girls on stream and the girls are like, oh, I'm 16 or something, or whatever. And it's like, whoa, what? Or the guys are like, they have girls in their stream and they probably, those girls like flash a titty or bend over, like sexual suggestive stuff is like they don't get, it's like favoritism at times.
It's gonna be favoritism forever. If somebody's making the platform money, they're gonna be
like his favoritism.
That's why I was actually surprised Twitch took such a hard stance on Dr. Disrespect. You know what I mean?
Because he was like making them money. He was like
so
the biggest streamer.
You almost have to be impressed by Twitch for that if you have any level of morals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you have any moral decency, you have to have respect for that. Because again, it's not cancel culture. They're protecting children from this guy. You know what I mean? Like that's different. That's not cancel culture.
At the same time, you can't say protect children, and then you had the whole thing with like, you know, a streamer's channel was like showing porn. There was a streamer getting back shots
so you're saying
on stream.
Like, to some level, virtue signaling that they are, even when they aren't consistently. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then that doesn't
mean they shouldn't. He uses that to try to say, oh, I shouldn't have been banned because others aren't. No, all of you should be. No, that's not an argument in your favor, buddy.
Yeah, he was pretty much saying like he shouldn't have been banned at all because like his ban was unjust and like, you know, that was something that should have been handled like, you know, between the two parties.
He fucking admitted it, bro.
He's saying like this is something that should have been handled between two parties. It was A and B. Twitch didn't need to be involved. It's like somebody who was like a low nobody in Twitch up there was just like a single person like, oh nope, you're banned because I don't like you because you're Dr. Disrespect and stuff. And you know, there is favoritism in Twitch. We can't lie. There's no favoritism in Twitch. And like, I remember having a conversation with people like when people leave Kick or their YouTube, their contract is up.
Yeah.
Do people really feel like they don't have like a contract with Twitch? Like Twitch offers them a contract and they go, oh, Twitch stopped doing that. Twitch never said they're not doing contracts. They said they will stop doing big contracts.
Mm-hmm.
If I say I'm going to stop doing big events, does that mean I'm going to stop doing events?
Always listen to the language, the actual wording.
Nobody listens to language. Nobody, because people are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Twitch literally says all.
Yeah.
It blows my mind because they literally said it.
Literacy and like just general literacy levels are very poor right now, and I don't really understand why. Like because it's not hard. No, I really don't feel like people are dumb. They just choose not to use their brains and not see this stuff. I don't get it. It's just like like they act like a sponge and absorb everything and never actually critically think on it, and it drives me nuts because I know they're capable of it. The majority of people are capable of critical thinking skills. You're just choosing not to.
Yeah, there's like. All he said was like, he explains why they're done offering massive contracts to streamers. Why they're done offering massive contracts to streamers. Yeah. Where does it say we are done offering contracts to streamers? It says massive contracts. You know what a massive contract is? Motherfuckers are getting fucking 200, like 100 mil, 50 mil to not go anywhere else.
Yeah, because it's a different world now. So they're not doing that kind of like it used to be this whole like big thing like, oh, where are they going, blah blah blah, and it was like
yeah, and it says it very clear. Twitch will no longer sign streamers to massive contracts.
They don't need to anymore. It's a different world.
Show me where does it say no contracts?
Yeah.
The industry spends millions on multi-year contracts, right? And Clancy came out. He said, I can tell you, you're retiring streamers from being 4 more generated, and they're done doing big streamer contracts. They're done with big streamer contracts.
It's not really to anyone's benefit anymore, to be honest, because when they announce a big contract, people already know they're getting money, all this stuff. Like, they don't necessarily want that stuff out there. the publicity of it isn't like the fun, cool times anymore. You know, people just bitch. So like, it's not to anyone's benefit for them to have these big publicity stunt contracts. It's just not. It's a different world.
Yeah, it says it appears they will no longer be putting out their checkbooks. It appears. Can nobody understand that stuff? Like, a lot of these people. Do you think a lot of people say like, oh, they left YouTube and go to Twitch because you know Twitch is their home and stuff and everything. If I just left YouTube and I had all these people, right? And Twitch wants to be back, I want money because I'm bringing you a fan base. I'm bringing people with me. They're gonna offer me something. They're gonna offer me a deal.
Yeah.
They're offering you something. You're gonna get a payout. And if you think with any doubt, like these streamers, Valkyrie, fucking Pokimane, Kai Snap, anybody who's Twitch who's bringing in fucking 10K plus viewers or more is not getting a larger payout or cut when it comes to their subscriptions, you smoke crack and believe in Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, and all this stuff. Because some of these motherfuckers make so much money on ads alone.
Oh
on
my
ads
gosh,
alone, they
that
make like
reminds me
10.
of the Asmongold tweet, I think, this week. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't really see
It
it.
was this week. Basically, he said something about like, I just make, or actually it was Dexerto's like wording where they said he just makes this much because he was like, he accidentally showed, or I don't know, maybe purposefully showed his something, and it was like his ad revenue because he doesn't run as many ads as some of the other big streamers, and so people were like, oh, he just makes that. Like, yeah, he just makes that because if you're looking at it, you know, comparison wise, like he might be making more. It's just like people can't, like, yes,
It's just because a lot of streamers don't tell their personal stuff, like their money stuff and contracts, because they don't want to. I don't have to share how much money I make. Nowhere do it says I gotta say, oh, I signed this contract, and then you know some streamers after they do it, like, yeah, I was on the contract and everything, I was making this much money. After the contract is done, they could reveal that. But during the contract going, I'm not gonna say how much money I make. I'm not gonna say what's my split when it comes to the stuff. I'm not gonna say that. Bigger streamers on a different league.
Yeah.
They're in a different league than you, who's a partner that probably gets like your top is 1,000 streamers. That's 1,000 viewers. That's great, fantastic. If you get 1,000 people consecutively, you're fucking killing it. You're
But these
good.
are like celebrity streamers. Like at this point, the top of Twitch, the top of YouTube, the top of these guys, like they are celebrity, powerful individuals now. Like that's a totally different
we're
league.
talking about
we're
talking about motherfuckers who buy mansions and fucking go to those
about
streamer
the people who hang out
awards.
with Mr. Beast, who also knows the most powerful people in the world and can get a room of billionaires in a day if you tweet something. You know what I mean? Like this is a totally different level of.
There's levels to this shit, man.
Yeah.
And if you think these motherfuckers are getting the same as you, I can't. Do you think they're gonna be honest about it too? No. Pokimane is not getting the same amount of money as fucking. I don't know. I can't think of a small streamer. I don't want to throw a small streamer's name out there and make them feel bad because people are like, how dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you? I would consider people, if you're bringing like 1,000 viewers or like close to 1,000 viewers each time streaming like 800 stuff, you're a mid-sized streamer.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on like how you're like if you look at the range, right? That's where you can kind of, because people will say, oh, small, big. You have to look at the full range to be able to make the small, mid type of comparisons, right?
Yes.
And the full scope goes up to like what, tens of thousands. So at any given time, so you've got to keep that in mind. And then the majority of streamers, if you're like looking at median mode, like all those, like you've got to look at it from different angles because the majority are zero. So. Technically, even anybody who's above like 10 viewers is like top 1% or whatever. But like, you gotta look at.
Even if you're a partner streamer, even if you're a partner, you bring in like 500 viewers, it's like close to 100 viewers, you're considered a small streamer.
Yeah.
Even your community will see you as big because you have a checkbook and you bring in like 100, you bring in close to 100, 200, and you're making like you're hitting your sub goals constantly.
Yeah.
You're big to them.
And that's
like,
exactly why I haven't like doubled and tripled down to try to get some of those numbers again, because I think I accidentally found my highest like number yesterday because I was looking for something, and I found I think it was like 54, 58 something average that was bringing in a month. That was like my max.
The highest number I ever bought in, dabbling in Twitch.
Yeah.
No, not on front page. I wasn't
Yeah.
on front page or nothing.
Yeah.
Dabbling in Twitch.
Yeah.
Is 101 viewers, and I
Mine
was
was
doing
1,000 actually. I've had
a
1,000
very
viewers
first-
looking at me first thing in the morning.
Really?
I had no makeup, like just yeah. Well, it was a raid, but yeah, I got a big raid and.
This was no raid.
Yeah.
This was organic.
I
No
can't
raid, no
remember what
host.
my organic top is, to be honest, but it's probably around 100-ish. You know.
You know what game I was playing? Neo. I was playing Neo. And I was doing a
Oh,
giveaway. I was
nice.
playing Neo and doing a giveaway, and this is when Neo was brand new, and I was like streaming on a fucking laptop, and I had the bullshit PlayStation camera on me, and I was doing, and like I beat the first boss and like the hype, and I was like, that's the most organic viewers I ever had.
That's awesome.
Never seen that again. I mean, I see it sometimes, and then
Yeah.
it's like goes away, but like, you know, I don't stream as much. I'm trying to get back into streaming.
Yeah.
But
I used to top out around like I could sometimes hit like 70 organically pretty often there for a second, because to get the 54, 58 you've got to be topping out somewhere like around there, right? On organic, right? And so it was a different time. 2020 and 2021 were crazy, you know, like there's just a different time. Everybody was stuck inside, so you know, I didn't
everybody
double
was
or triple
streaming.
down, because again, 100's still pretty small. Like, you know, relatively like people are gonna like fucking worship the ground you walk on if you do that. But like, I try to think like a much larger investment scale for things. So I'm like, you know, trying YouTube stuff while doing what I'm doing. So, you know, if I like had continued to triple down on streaming, like, yeah, I might have some of those things, but like I've been trying to branch out for years now and learn different skills. So it's like, I'm trying to think like chess game, you know, not checkers, like legitimately trying to like learn all of the different pieces and move them around, and so that if the opportunity hits, when the opportunity hits, I have the pieces ready. It's not, you know, oh, I only do this and this is all I know. It's like I've got all of these different things that I have in movement, so they could all grow together, and that would be a crazy exponential. People would be like, oh, overnight. No, like I fucking working my ass off to have these like bottom level things in place, failing at all of them, but learning all the while and hoping that something generates. And if it doesn't, I still have a library of stuff I'm proud of that's not just streaming, you know. But that's not to say that you shouldn't stream long hours if you want it, because that's also bullshit. You can do it all.
You just gotta manage it. They're also changing their requirements for partner, because like now they're saying like, because before they didn't count raids. It was like, oh, you got a raid, that don't count. Those numbers don't count.
Yeah, I would
now
probably be partner if they
adding
had changed it. You know, if it had been well you could raid. Well, you
I'm pretty sure if me and you stream Monster Hunter together, we could probably both get partnered and hunt together.
I don't know about
because we could do because the numbers that I think when you do the chat now, like when you do that knock, you go knock knock, you go, hey, let's stream together thing. Then we share numbers.
Well, depending on where things go for the next few months.
You're never gonna do Monster Hunter with me because you're an asshole.
Maybe
you don't
not
like me.
Monster Hunter. I would maybe do Marvel Rivals. Or
you
like,
wouldn't do Marvel? I would probably not do. I would probably do. I was gonna say not.
I would
I'll do it
maybe
with you.
like there's some multiplayer games I would you know fuck with. Potentially in the summer, I'm considering it, depending on where things go over the next few months. Like doing a little multiplayer time, but
I would have to play it on console, and I'd have to play on console. Oh,
you haven't sold me on Monster Hunter. To be fair, it doesn't sound like something
what
like
do you
that
mean?
cool.
I haven't sold you on it. You hunt monsters. You have a cute cat person with you hunting, and they get to distract the monsters. Sometimes they go, "Don't worry, I got it," and they distract the monsters so you can try to jump on the monster's back. And you got all these cool weapons and stuff. That face is like not.
I'm not convinced.
You're not convinced. You gotta play it. You gotta take. It's like fucking. I was gonna say something really perverted, but I said
Swear. Oh man.
It's like oral sex. You gotta just try it. You just gotta go into it. Just fuck.
Swear to God.
You may not like. You just like.
Swear to God.
You don't know if you don't like it. If you just try it the first time. Fuck. The fuck, guys. Be adults.
Be adults. I mean, I'll look at a base of if I decide to go multiplayer in the summer, I'll look at a base of games and decide on something. But
Matt, you don't have to do multiplayer. I told you they have an offline mode.
If I was gonna do that kind of game, I would do it right. Like I'm not, you know what I mean? Like they build it for that. it's not meant for the offline. Like they offer that as an option. I'm a
But
default game player. Like I've never even modded a game. I like to have the default experience and experience what the artists are creating, which is like not something in gaming these days. Are like, I need to have everything custom and it's gotta be made for me. It's gotta be made for me. No, I want to understand the art that was created, that was curated, and
Matt,
appreciate it for that.
Matt, my homie.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
If it's online,
Yeah.
the only thing you see online is all the people when you go to the main base camp. You see them all walking around being stupid, and you see the pop-ups and stuff, right? But you're gonna hunt by yourself. If you do offline mode, you're gonna hunt by yourself. When you're online, you're
Isn't
hunted
it
by
an
yourself.
MMO?
When you're offline, you're hunted
It's
by
an
yourself.
MMO though, right?
What do you want, Matt? I can't make you happy with Monster Hunter. I can't convince you. I'm trying to convince you to play Monster Hunter with me. I'm trying to. It's like trying to convince your friend to do drugs with you and they don't want to. I'm telling you all the good things. You're like, this doesn't sound good. I'm like, it's good. It's a good drug.
You haven't convinced me. It's just like maybe it's
But
not my drug.
Matt, you have to try, bro. You like coffee?
Yeah, I was just.
Did you always like coffee? Did you always like coffee?
Yeah, but I'm a weirdo. As soon as I tried
What was something that you was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this, and then you finally tried it, you was like, this is actually good.
Okay, so one that kind of is more of an acquired taste. I was like, oh, this is good, but I know like it was one of those where I was like, this is a strong one. Was like a real scotch, like a real peaty scotch, and I was like, I think I like this, but like it is more of an acquired taste, and then you love it. You know? Yeah, that's a good one.
So Monsters was the same way for me. It was like kind of acquired. I'm like, I played like one. I was like, I wasn't even feeling it. Then Words came out. I was like, maybe I try again, and then I got hooked. I think if you try it, you can make your character look just like you. Character customization.
I don't care about
make it
character
look just
customization.
Like. Okay, well, okay, scratch that. You can make
like iconic, linear experiences, like iconic.
That is an iconic linear experience.
But there's not an iconic. You know what I mean? I don't know.
You want the iconic character. You are the iconic character.
No.
The iconic character are the monsters you're fighting. You get to create a Palico cat companion that looks just like your cat.
I do like cat
and name him Murph.
I do like cat companions.
And they walk around you. And guess who cooks you most of your food when you go to the base camps?
The cat.
A bunch of little cats. Or you could be in your little camp and you make your own dish and you cook it, you eat it for yourself. And you could play with your Calico in your tent.
I played this game called Calico, and you
Palico. They call it Palico.
Well, I played a game called Calico, and you become tiny when you're baking, and you can literally like stand on a cat, and then like I think you can pet it or something, and then it'll like knead the dough because you know how you call it like they're making biscuits, like it literally does the thing, and it like makes.
So could you imagine like you're gonna go for a hunt and a whole bunch of cats are coming to make you this big feast and everything? Like, yay, eat the feast.
Okay, that's cute.
And then can't you imagine your little Palico, like you ride your little I forgot what it's called, your scree, and it's like, I'll hop on back, don't worry. And it's like they see you are getting hurt, they come in with the extra health for you, they're like, I got you, they throw the health at you. Or you could take away the speech and just give them the regular language and they say like they do meows and stuff.
The point
of what?
Like, so you know how I love Last of Us because I'm a crazy person and I'm like obsessed with it. I'm actually going to try to make myself tired of it. That's maybe my April project. But nonetheless, I'm obsessed with that game. Can't stop. Because there's a story that I care about.
So
plus good gameplay. Like it has both for me. You know, I can master the gameplay. So it's worth playing over and over because there's things to learn and master.
Gotcha.
But also story. Good story.
So the story of Monster Hunter, you are like supposedly the Monster Hunter sent on this expedition in this new area. So like they made you the lead. Like you're going out there, you're fucking doing it, you're in charge. So you got there and you got like this like person who helps. Yeah. But Pokemon is like you're a little kid, go fucking be a Pokemon trainer. Go die in the wilds.
Yeah, like, that's kind of what you just described, except as an adult.
No, but your experience, you experienced Monster Hunter. Like you've been doing this a while, and they're like, we want you to do in this exposition. You're the lead hunter in this.
Okay.
And you can go with these other people, and fucking good luck, peace. And you go and there's this girl who like, I hope you record monsters. She knows about the monsters and everything. You have your Palico and everything, and stuff. And then you encounter this little kid. There's like get attacked. He's like stuck. Something's happening with this little kid. And you got to get him back. You help him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm part of this tribe and stuff." And there's all these people. And I was like, "Okay, we're gonna set up our camp here." And you start learning about the monsters in these regions and stuff. So the main point of the game, I don't know the full story, but the main point of the game is like, there's these monsters we're trying to understand and record. So You're gonna track them. You see their movement and stuff. You're gonna fight them, kill them, take their corpse and stuff. You're gonna make cool armor and weapons. You're gonna
But is
upgrade
it
your weapons and stuff.
finishable?
Is it finishable? Yes. There's different areas, and each area has their own apex monster.
So,
And the
but is
apex
there
monster.
like a story you can finish?
Yes, there is a
Okay.
main story quest line to finish.
Okay.
There are quests that you could do, and they call hunts. So the main story, like, oh, hunt this monster. Okay, we got enough about this monster. Oh, it seems this monster was a fucking prey to this monster. Let's go check this monster. Oh, why is this monster acting erratic? Something's wrong. Oh, it's because this asshole monster is doing some shit. Oh, wait, there's an apex in this area. We just killed the apex. Oh, wait, there's other monsters that we don't know about that's causing this madness right now. So as you hunt monsters, you're learning about the monster and figuring out the world, what's happening, and like how the environment is changing because certain monsters in the world are doing certain things. Like the apexes control the smaller ones, and the smaller ones are hunted by these other ones. And some of them get erratic. They call I forgot the meaning for them, but they go into a weird state, and it's like if they continue this state, they could destroy the ecosystem of that environment. So you got to go hunt and kill it and stuff. And you get to customize your weapons, your armor.
I don't really care
and
about that.
there's
Like,
yeah, but you know how many
I
weapons there? There's 9 weapons to master.
But like my thing is,
You don't have to.
my thing is like I like doing stuff that like moves a story forward. Like I'm a main story girl. Like I'll sometimes do the
Yeah, you
side
could do
stuff
that.
if it like attracts me, but I'm very much like I want to get that. Like I want to sit down and be able to just play the whole thing and get like the story and be, like I just want that full like I'm a story gamer for the most part. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's my
there's a story in Monster Hunter. It's not like it's not like there's no story. Every Monster Hunter game has a story.
Yeah.
And like when the monsters are introduced, like they have background or lore and stuff. So you have a story. There is a story in the game. There is a story mode, and there is end game stuff.
Okay.
And I would really like to play it because we could both go on the hunts together. We both see the story, experience it together. Buddies. We're hunting. We're hunting buddies.
Maybe.
And you could always run away and leave me to fight the monster by myself as you freaking play
That would be funny.
a horn. That would be funny. Or you could sit back with your little arrow and try to hit people. And there's a saxophone you could play
Oh.
to boost and hit the monsters with it.
Is there like, are there like taverns that we can go play mini games or like anything like that? Are there like cool side things? Or is it just
I
killing
don't
monsters?
know. I didn't think they release like side stuff. They usually like later on they have like in the main towns they have like little mini games and stuff.
Mhm.
Like you could like there's like stupid little mini games and stuff, but like most of the time it's like you fight a monster in a arena.
So is it
and
like
stuff.
is it like a
Just-
repetitive game loop because of that though?
It can be.
Okay.
It can be hunt, track, and stuff. But they change. But this one is so much. I'm just speaking of what I've experienced with Worlds. But Wilds is gonna be a lot more. So I don't know fully what's gonna happen. But like I think you somebody who likes like story. It has a good story, have a riveting story, and it has a cool little guy you can hang out with and stuff. That's your little guy that hangs out.
Yeah.
And
Because I
you might
like because
it.
for me like for story like I like character transformation, right? Like that's and so even though like Assassin's Creed has like some pretty big open worlds for the recent games, it's like it feels like there's stuff that's happening, like they're on a journey, trying to do some stuff, right? Like and it all kind of goes to this big overarching story that connects all the games. So for me that's why my brain likes it so much because it's like there's these layers of story. So you might have like the small story for whatever you're doing, the larger story of why you're doing it in the first place, the kind of like what is happening with this character and why that's developing, and then that overarching lore for why you're even in the end.
Gotcha.
So it's like for me I like that kind of layered like experience of having a lot of reasons for doing things. It kind of goes back to the same concept of finance, like you doing stuff like for all of these very specific reasons. And then I also, on top of that, get to have my own reasons. So like replaying The Last of Us, obviously I know the story. There's not going to be any surprises. And there might be some emotional resonance every time, right? But that's not the primary reason I'm playing it at that point. It's like to notice new details while I'm like mastering weapons. So there's just, like there's stuff like that. So that's kind of like what I found drives me the most. But that's not the only thing either. Like I sometimes do like really cozy games like Animal Crossing or sometimes multiplayer to hang out with people. But yeah.
I get you. So there's another thing that's been happening. Riot Games has done more to like fuck their fan base over, because they're complete anything free that can help you get something free, like free skins, they're removing. So this recently they removed the honor system and the orb system. And I believe I talked about the honor system before. So what the honor system is, if you're like just like a decent player in the game, like you're not toxic and stuff, you get honors. So people are like, oh, he was a good teammate, good call outs, and like good leader or whatever. And like as the more you get like a it gets like an honor system. It goes like from regular or whatever. So whatever. The more honor system, the higher your honor level is, the more like capsules they gave you. The capsules gave you like
So
skins
they're
and
basically
champions.
taking away reward systems that will make the game less fun because people will have fewer incentives to do certain behavior. So you're limited basically to one behavior that has reward systems. Is that what I'm getting?
No, they're just taking away anything that could get you free shit.
Oh.
So no more loot boxes, no more capsules. The capsules will give you a champion or a skin. No more. No more free shit. If you want something, if you want a new skin or champion, you gotta grind out and fucking either collect another the orbs, the regular shards, or buy them. Nothing is free anymore. Fuck you. That's what they're saying. Fuck you. Buy our skins. And they have skins that cost like $200. They released another $250 skin. One skin for $250. Could you imagine that?
That's insane. That's like why is somebody buying the $250 skin if they like play it every day, I guess? And they just love it. That's
Or they got the money.
I mean, I guess if you love it, you play it every day and you have the money maybe, but like that's
Yeah, but
crazy.
if you're just a casual player, and like you're not playing like ranks in esports, why the fuck you have a $250 skin?
It's hard to conceptualize, but there are like if there are people who will spend it and you offer it, it's a win-win, I guess. But like, damn, it's a lot. But
$250 for a skin.
I saw somebody complaining about like Apex, I think, where it wasn't gonna work on Linux anymore, I think. And they were like, I've spent like $2,000 on this game that I can no longer play. I'm like, because you won't play on Windows? And like everybody in the comments is like, because you won't play on Windows. You didn't waste your money. You're just being a little bitch about not wanting to go to Windows.
Yeah, because that stuff transfers. It's on Steam.
Yeah, they're just being, they're like, but I like Linux. Okay, well, that was your choice. Like, that's your choice. You didn't waste your money. They didn't.
You just got to change your operating system.
Yeah, you just are being, difficult. Like, and so they were like mad at them. They're like, I spent all this money and now I can't use it. Yes, you can. They didn't take it away from you.
You can. Oh, you
like,
get. There's a
games
thing
that we lose access to. That's not what I'm like. That's crazy.
There's a program called I think it's called Parallels, but
Yeah.
I think it might be called Parallels.
Yeah, I've had
where you
it
can
before.
switch between OS systems.
Yeah, I've had it before because I needed Real Excel on my Mac for grad school and stuff.
And again, anybody who uses Linux, be afraid of them. Be very afraid of them because Linux is not an easy operating system.
Yeah, so it's probably some sort of pretension in my mind that they're like, I'm not going to play Windows. Like, okay, well, you chose the operating system that no one's using because it's hard. So, if you don't have as much option to use things, I fucking wonder why. Like, you chose this. You don't have to choose it. Nobody's forcing you.
Yeah, the only reason I would use Linux is to hack. But we're not going to talk about my days of being a toxic Call of Duty player and hacking people's accounts and taking their Xbox Live accounts.
Tell the truth. Did you hack Kai's TikTok?
No, wasn't me. Wasn't me. Was not me. Wasn't me. And if anybody's watching this, and if you were the person that we hacked back in fucking 2020, no, like 2015, 17, and we took your Xbox Live account, and we then kicked you off of your modem. You couldn't use your modem, and we canceled your cable subscription. You deserved it. You're a fucking asshole.
Oh, it was targeted. You didn't like. Okay, I see.
No, fuck that kid. Don't talk shit in Call of Duty.
I don't know.
To the people, because there's either two things gonna happen. We're gonna come to your house, or we're gonna kick you off your internet. You're never gonna be able to use it. Your family won't be able to use the internet. We would, bro. I was a terrible person. I was a terrible piece of shit.
It's terrifying.
I was misogynistic,
God.
sexist, racist, a man whore,
the whole lot,
a delinquent,
and look at you now.
miserable, old,
Oh man.
Fucking hate this. You would blah, blah, blah. You would I can't say words. See, this the no food.
Great.
You weren't always a perfect person, right?
No,
Well,
I was
I don't think
definitely a troll for a little while. I had my troll
But
days.
troll how? Troll how?
I was
How
mean
are
to
you a
people.
troll?
I would insult people. Like just because at the time I did believe that people were just like fucking dumb. I was like, why are you like just and to this
Why are
day
you stupid?
to this day I understand that people have more control than I understood then. And so now I'm nicer about it, but I still think these things, and so I'm like a reformed troll. And so it's like I try to have a lot more mercy towards the fact that people have a lot of different life experiences and understand that better, and try to understand it from the other person's point of view. Whereas before I was just like, why are you not fucking getting this done? Just get it done. Just do it. Like what are you doing? Why are you being a little bitch? And so like I would just insult people, like, because like when in
You
any
would really
hobby
say
I was
why
in,
you being a little bitch?
yeah. So I would basically just insult people to like motivate them to be better. Like why are you doing, like, I don't get it. I do not understand most of humanity bitching about shit. Like just do it. So I was
Yeah,
just
you know-
kind of a troll asshole. Now I just stick to my own fucking side. I'm like, I don't care. Like, and by side I mean like literally just my shit. Like I just stay in my lane and I don't really insult anyone. But I was pissed yesterday. I was about to say some shit. I at least tampered it a little bit. I was pissed.
What happened? What got you mad? Why were you mad? Tell us why you was mad.
The very first person. I have 22 days, now 23, of daily uploads on my new Gaming Ambiance channel. And they had
Okay.
100% likes all across the board because it's Gaming
Okay.
Ambiance. It's just happy. Like there's nothing bad about it. Like you could not possibly be offended by it. Somebody disliked one of my videos for the first time. I'm like, how do you dislike a fireplace in a game? Fuck you. And that's what I sold you on. It's what the title and the thumbnail show. You are sold on it when you click on it. You know what you're clicking on exactly. You clicked on it. How do you not like it when it's exactly what I told you it was? Fuck you. So yeah, like who the fuck dislikes something that's just made beautiful for people? I was like, it's not like I sold them on something false. They were not scammed. They had the exact selling point, and that video is just peaceful. My rage from making a peaceful video and somebody disliking it. Oh my god, I was rageful. So I
Wow.
tweeted, and I am kind of a firm believer that things can happen where you like if you start putting too much like negative energy out in the universe, it'll come back to you. So I tried not to wish horrible things on this person, but my inner self did. And I was like, okay, you can't do that. Like, we're not going to have that karma come back. But I said, whoever was the first dislike on my new Gaming Ambiance channel after 22 daily videos of 100% likes, I hope you have the day you deserve. In your entire life, you've likely never created anything that brings you joy, and your misery seeps through your empty actions.
Jesus.
If somebody had actually, like, nobody who's actually ever made fucking anything in their life that they're proud of would ever tear someone down who's doing the same. Fuck you. You probably are sitting there in your filth, never fucking done anything in your life. You are just so goddamn lazy that the only thing you can do is critique other people who are actually trying. Fuck you.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
But that's how I feel about like some of the gaming what's it called? Like the gaming complainers. And that's where I get to on that side of like I kind of understand the more woke side sometimes, because I can kind of understand both sides at different times, where they're like, stop complaining. Like, why are you complaining so much? Make your own game. Like, if you've never even tried to like understand how a game is made and all you do is complain, like, just because you're the customer doesn't mean like you actually know fucking anything.
Yeah, like you're always right. The customer's not always right at times.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just...
They're going to be right about themselves, but they're not going to necessarily be right about the majority. Or like what's going to make the company successful. Like they're going to be right in their own right, and that's okay. Like your opinions are valid, but like that doesn't mean that you know everything either. It doesn't mean you know what everybody else is thinking, you know.
Exactly. Some people feel like I'm entitled to everything. Like I like my like with... Yes, the customer... Wait, hold on. You're not always... You're entitled to your own opinions and stuff, but sometimes it just doesn't matter. Especially to like companies and stuff, and like you see this whole thing with like in the gaming industry right now. Everybody's just like screaming at the void of like these companies. Like, you got to do this. You have to do this. Do
Imagine
this.
if
Do
I had
this. Do
said
this.
like,
Do
I'm
this.
not
Do
gonna
this.
play Monster Hunter because it doesn't have dinosaurs I can ride.
But you can.
Okay, well, it doesn't
But
have
it's
something like maybe because it doesn't have a house I can build. I don't fucking know like what it has or doesn't have. But like imagine I just inserted myself into it and said it's a bad game because it
yes.
doesn't have what I personally want. And that's what I see with the
Yes.
fucking Avowed shit too. Like I get it. I don't have any interest in playing Avowed. People thought I was defending it. And I was like, no, I want to know why you care about game physics so much. You sitting there throwing your arrows at the ground? Like what are you doing? That's literally what you do the most in a game. Like, why do you care so much?
I mean, right now, right now it's something that's popped up, and people are saying like this game might have been like this might be it for Bethesda because like looking at the Steam charts, within a week, it's only peaked 18,000
About
people. Yeah,
they're saying it's successful for them though, so they might not have spent that much on it.
18,000,
Bro, I don't know. They've said it's successful for them. That it's what they wanted. I don't know if
Bro.
that's a lie, but
Okay,
they
if you
said
look
it.
at like the peak all-time peaks for games within a week, okay, the last game that they released was what?
Maybe
We're
it
gonna
didn't
say
cost them much to make.
Starfield. You know what Starfield got its peak?
But we're talking about Steam. This maybe this was a more console-driven game.
I mean, Steam Starfield had 33
But we also don't know the
33,000 people.
ratios, is what I'm saying. What if Starfield was more of a PC game for whatever reason? You know, we don't know if
I mean-
maybe just more people bought it on console, which is why Steam numbers are almost nothing to go off of because we don't know what that percentage basis is for each game. There's likely
Well,
an average,
listen.
but you know.
Hold on. No. Listen, look at this. There's right now, if we talk about the right now,
Mhm.
there's 17,000 people playing Avowed.
Mhm.
There's 40,000 people still playing Skyrim.
I'm not saying that it should be compared to
That
Skyrim's
doesn't make
success,
sense.
But we don't know how much they spent on it. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be the most successful game to be a successful game.
Yeah, but
And so
if I'm an
saying
investor,
it was successful because maybe they didn't spend that much. Maybe most of their money went to marketing because I've seen it everywhere, right? Like I have no interest in it and I've seen it everywhere. So clearly they spent a lot on marketing, but maybe they didn't spend that much on the actual game and maybe that's why there isn't game physics because they budgeted really carefully. You know what I mean? Like maybe that's why this is not realistic because they knew what they wanted. They put a budget around it and they said, make this. This is what we want. And then we're going to try to blow it up with marketing. And maybe they didn't spend that much actually making the game. You never know.
well, I guess time will only tell to see what happens with some of these new games coming out. These new like original IPs from these like big corporations like Bethesda and all that stuff.
If I were a
Because
big
it's-
company, I would test a few small budget games that look
Yeah, but
good,
I
are small
wouldn't
budget.
say it's
I
a
would.
AAA game.
That's true. I mean, because AAA is the investment, right? So it depends.
Yeah.
Maybe it's lower end, but like, I really wish we had this data all public to look at because it's like think about like Stardew, for instance. That's always my go-to, right? Like it was one dude making the game. His budget was his living. You know what I mean? And then when he got it done, it was over 30 million sales. So and it
Look
might
at-
be a little
look
bit
at
cheaper of a
Undertale.
game price, but it's still 30 million sales.
Yeah, Undertale was made by one guy. Minecraft was made by one dude, and he sold that shit off. The dude who made Minecraft, he sold it off quick. He was like, "Give me my money, I'm out.
And so,
Fuck it,
yeah,
take
the
it."
cost of a game isn't necessarily going to be the popularity or even quality of a game, depending on what quality you enjoy. And graphical quality, sure, but yeah. So if they cut a few corners because they wanted to make a smaller game, and people are complaining about those corners, but it was successful in its own right to the audience it was going for, how can you hate that?
Well, with how things are going, with people getting laid off and for successful games, people getting laid off for shit games, people just seem to be getting laid off left and right. And we leave the question up to you guys. Do you think these layoffs are like happening, just are layoffs just the thing that's we're gonna see more of in the industry? We've seen a successful game lay off people. It's a different division. Yes, it wasn't the dev team, but what's next? Let us know down in the comments below. If these
AI,
layoffs
maybe.
is gonna
AI
keep
might be next.
Huh?
AI might be next.
AI is gonna take your job next.
I made
So
my first video game this week.
you did
Yeah, I used AI.
AI.
Yeah, it was a game about me and chat, and you just scroll and you can catch the hypes and the subs, and you try to not let the trolls and the lag get you.
Really?
Yeah.
You gotta send me the link. We'll
Yeah,
post it in the posted in the comments. We posted in the description
Yeah.
of the video, right?
Yeah.
But you got any closing remarks?
No, I feel like we've said everything this week, to be honest.
True.
Yeah. I
Well,
think
I
leaving
got
them with
not
that
much to
question is
say.
good. That, what do
Yeah,
you think?
you know?
What do you think of all this? Because there's a lot happening and it feels like there's a lot shifting and changing and getting worse, but also, the conversations around it don't seem to be very nuanced most of the time. So we'd love to hear some nuanced thoughts.
Yeah. Well, that's it for us. Glad you guys stuck around and watching and be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that comment, hit that bell, so you can stay up to date with us and know when a new video drops. I'm Della,
I'm mad curious.
and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.